There's one question I'd like to ask. Are we aware of open adoptions?
Yeah, the American system.
This is something that Essex are now going along. I've got a case where one of my parents have got 2 children in care, and they've got visiting rights to the eldest one, but the younger one, they have been denied contact for 3 years because the younger one is up for adoption. And it faces the final adoption hearing later on this month. But it's been adopted by the carers, so the foster carers. So they've still got visiting rights to that house, or not that house, but to that elder sibling. And they know where they live. And so they will have full information of where their younger child will be adopted. And I didn't think that was...
There are a lot of complex issues, not least whether the root of there's a problem, adoption is the solution, which is the diagnosis is, whatever the diagnosis is, adoption is the solution. The issues as to whether we actually should be changing tack and looking more to support people, because what you have is clear miscarriages of justice that go on, but you also have other situations where it's a little bit more complex and people do have problems. You know, I was dealing with, in my own constituency, we have a thing called Home Start, who try to help families in difficulty. They argue that a substantial proportion of their difficulties result from bad housing, in fact, but their argument is that they can provide support for families, so you don't have a situation where children need to be taken into care, even in those difficult circumstances where families are having problems. Let us not pretend that all families are perfect. That is a much more complex debate, which I do think myself, having looked at things, and we're developing a body of evidence on this, that the solution that says adoption is the solution to almost any problem, I think is wrong.
Yes, so do I. I can just add to that, John. I'm the doctor, and I'm just going to put my money where my mouth is. Adoption won't stop it. It's not the answer. Adoption is not the answer. It ruins the children's lives.
Well, it depends. Forced adoption, I think, has to stop. Ian.
Just one quick question, John, on what you just said. Shouldn't the money be spent on helping these families rather than adopting?
Yeah, I think there is an issue about providing financial support for situations like, you know, and again, we haven't got the time to go into all of that at the moment. There obviously will always be a role for adoption to some extent, because you have children who are abandoned, babies are abandoned, you know, that's not, but I think the issue of forced adoption and under what circumstances you should actually force an adoption through, that is the one where Britain has struck out, particularly independently, down a particular blind alley, and we need to sort that U-turn out.
A more open system.